Regan Corner Sports Network. Tom Hill here on the pregame show, just about 5 minutes before kickoff here in Knox High School in Knox, Indiana. The Knox Redskins come in with a record of 2-2. The Glen Falcons come in with a record of 1-2. 0-1 in the Indiana Northern State Conference are the Glen Falcons, and 1-0 are the Knox Redskins. Both these teams are going to come in here and pick up a victory. Knox looking to go over 500. And they're coming off of a 26-3 victory last week against Tippecanoe Valley. And that is something we're going to build on in this week. On the Glen side, they're coming off of 2 straight losses. August 30th, a 48-8 drubbing against Edwardsburg, and then September 13th, a 22-14 loss against Jimtown. So both these teams looking obviously to get out here with a victory. Just about 4 minutes ago before kickoff here in Knox. Game number 4 for Glen, game number 5 for Knox. And the home team, the Knox Redskins, are 2-0 in their own building, so looking to improve to 3-0 and stay flawless there. The 70th ranked team in the state of Indiana has forced 150 points throughout their first 4 games this season, so looking to keep that going, and some players to look out for in this game. We'll highlight both quarterbacks. We'll start with Knox and Miles McLaughlin. And McLaughlin has had 5 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown over the course of his last 2 games. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in the 47-46 loss on September 6th against Culver Academy. So he's a player, also an outside linebacker for this Knox team that can get going on the defensive side. And over on the Glen side, quarterback to look out for is Braden Benwell, the junior, also free safety for this team. And this is a Glen team. They forced only 49 points over the course of their past 3 games, which is just about over 16 per game. So looking to up that here tonight. They've allowed 87, and obviously coming in with a 1-2 overall record, looking to improve to 500 both overall and go 1-1 in conference. And with every single team in the Indiana Northern State Conference playing each other this week, between Tippecanoe Valley against LaVille and Jimtown against Bremen, you have to win these games if you want to try to gain ground, if you want to try to stay on the attack as the season starts to progress. And there's some X factors to look out on this game as well. You have to point over to the Knox side, the running back Jake Conroy, the senior. He has also been electric so far this year, and over the past couple of games, he has 3 rushing touchdowns as well. We saw Knox on Regan Corner Sports Network, week 1 against North Judson in a loss, but we did see that offense really likes to move the football on the ground. They run it a lot with McLaughlin. They utilize Jake Conroy a ton, so expect that to be a focal point here in this game. And then over on the Glen side, next factor to look out for is junior middle linebacker Blake Wright. And this is a defense in Glen that has struggled just a bit here over the course of their first 3 contests. But if they're able to right the ship and able to get something going here, then maybe they can take care of business and sort of upset Knox here on the road. Obviously easier said than done. We'll see how the game progresses. Tom Hill, I'll be joined by Josh Regan as my color analyst here on Regan Corner Sports Network. And we mentioned the home record for Knox, 2-0, but the away record for John Glen, albeit a small sample size, they are 1-0. So both of these teams looking to stay without a loss in their respective venues. And, this could be big because both of these teams also have Indiana Northern State Conference rivals next week. So a win here can be pivotal. Next week after this game, Knox will play LaVille and Glen will play Bremen. So it's all about, the keys to the game and how you win this game. Well, it sounds cliche, but hold on to the football. And I mean that both figuratively and literally. I mean that from a standpoint of you don't want to turn the ball over, but you also want to drain the clock and really control everything on offense. And, whatever team is able to do that here in this game is going to set themselves up in a much better situation to try to win it. And, if you're Knox, and I detailed, they're a team that likes to run the football. They really like to run it with McLaughlin, as I mentioned, the running back Conroy. This is the team they could sneak a throw and maybe catch the defense by surprise, but their bread and butter is running the football. And this is a team that, downhill stylistically like that, it bodes a lot better when you have a lead. And it'll be interesting to see if Knox does have a lead in this game. They've kind of been back and forth on the season. I mentioned that loss against North Judson that we covered here on Regan Corner Sports Network, 42-21, but they rebounded and regrouped next week on August 30th against Pioneer with a 57-6 win. And obviously September 6th at Culver Academy is a 47-46 tough loss. They actually had a lead in that game, 46-41, and relinquished the lead. It was back and forth between Knox and Culver Academies, but then rebounded last week with a 26-3 victory against Tippecanoe Valley. So, we'll see which version of the Knox Redskins we get here at home. And it is Regan Corners Sports Network's game of the week between these two squads. We covered these two schools for volleyball earlier in the week, so moving over to a different sport here. And, if you're John Glenn, well, it starts with just scoring. And the name of the game is scoring. And that's how you're going to better yourself in these games. And it'll be interesting to see how that offense with Braden Benwell looks. They've only scored 22 points over the course of the last two games, rather. So, other than that victory in game one against Boone Grove, their offense has kind of looked a bit stagnant. So we'll see, how they look here tonight against this Knox defense. But it's going to be, to my point, who's going to come out and run the football, who's going to come out and control the game, control the tempo, who's going to look like the more complete team offensively, and which team won't shoot themselves in the foot with turnovers or costly mistakes like penalties and stuff of that nature. So, there's a lot that goes into a game, and there's a lot that goes into forecasting who's going to win in a game. But it's going to be interesting to see which team has the upper hand and which team, puts themselves in a position to have the upper hand. And this is where, obviously I mentioned every single team in the Indiana Northern State Conference is playing against each other tonight. So there are no out-of-conference games. So a win is huge because two teams are losing. But a loss is even bigger because two teams are winning. And actually three teams are winning, rather, because the loser tonight, obviously the other team wins, and then two more Indiana Northern State teams will pick up a victory tonight. So a lot of in-division aspirations and ramifications and whatever you want to call it as we look to be just about underway or nearing underway here in Knox, Indiana. Knox High School, the home team, the Redskins. They've had some homecoming festivities pregame. Game number 5 for Knox, game number 4 for Glenn. Knox looking to go 3-2, Glenn looking to go 2-2. Just to get some momentum going into next week's game as we see the captains from both squads go out to midfield. The K, the midfield logo. Looks like we're going to get this game started at a 6:30 local time start. Tom Hill here on the call. Josh Regan will be joining me shortly.
Well, it's good night here in the Knox, Indiana. Tom, are you ready for a big time game here?
Is the name of the sideline.
Yeah, I'm ready. I am ready. Both of these teams in the same conference. It's a competitive conference right now, and we'll see which team has the upper hand. We've mentioned a lot of talent on that Knox team, especially offensively. So we'll see how does McLaughlin look running the football. You're a team in Knox that really profiles as a team that would play better with the lead. So we'll see if they're able to get a lead in this game, and see if they could really use that home crowd maybe to stir them up and pump them up, and see if they can pick up win number 3 and win number 3 here at home, which is always a big factor as you kind of get down the stretch, and we're at kind of almost at the midway point in the season for both teams.
as we're set for kickoff here. Knox has come back after that two
back on
early losses with 2 back-to-back wins there.
Huddle sideline, huddle press box 9442. What's the password? It says enter password.
Jay Conroy taking off for the Redskins. Brody King and Austin Butler deep to return for the Falcons.
So we're ready to start pretty soon here as kickoff.
Looks like John Glenn will return to start this ball game. It'll be the Redskins on defense to start here tonight. Team that's allowed 98 points over the course of their first 4 games, so looking to iron that out. Pomeroy will boot this one away, and we are underway here on Regan Corner Sports Network. Tackled down at about the 35-yard line, so good starting field position for Braden Benwell and the John Glenn Falcons. This is the team to our point. If you're just tuned in, Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. 2-2 Knox taking on the 1-2 John Glenn Falcons. Both these teams different results in their last matchup. Knox with a 26-3 victory against Tippecanoe Valley, and Glenn with a 22-14 victory, or 22-14 loss rather, against Jimtown.
That's going to be an interesting matchup here as Glenn likes to spread you out a little bit more, and we saw the triple option a lot from.
Full in the pattern, the juice room, but they're going to hand it off right to the back immediately. So strong running tackle down at about the 47-yard line. Setting the tone immediately for Glenn, and it's Blake Wright, someone who is our X factor coming into play here tonight. And Josh, that'll be an interesting look because we saw 4 in the pattern from this Falcon offense. So we'll see if maybe that's a little bit more of a decoy, if that's something that they're going to try to utilize in this game.
A little RPO there, as we just saw that. A little bit of a read from the quarterback into the running back. Right, like you said.
1st and 10 at the own 47. The give goes to Wright again, but this one's going to get flagged immediately. It looks like everyone will be coming back. That's going to be called on John Glenn. We might have a false start, but nonetheless, that puts the football back. This is a Knox team, as I mentioned, allowed 98 points so far throughout their first 4 games, which is just a tick below 25 points allowed per game, which is something they want to iron out. In their losses, they have allowed 42 and 47 points respectively. In their wins, 6 and 3. So such a stark contrast that, when you get good defensive play, if you're Knox, you're usually going to win these games. Bremmel the snap, throws it out wide to the left, and it's dropped. So the first pass attempt of the game goes wayward for the Falcons.
Absolutely, as it's going to be a 2nd and long here for Glenn as they're in a passing situation here with this stout defense and the Redskins. As we saw,
they tried to screen to the receiver in the slot, and it was just a bit errant from Benwell. Couldn't get it to him. So now a 2nd down and long back at their own 41. Right to back, they give it to him, has some space, bounces it forward for a pickup of about 4, tackled down on the 35-yard line. It's going to set up a pivotal 3rd down for Glenn.
Tackle made by Jay Conroy and Maddox Tinder
with the stop. So this will bring up the key 3rd down. Just a little over a minute gone here in quarter number 1.
Absolutely, as they have a 4-out wide receiver look here, trying to get past the 3rd.
Too high look with man on the outside. 4 receivers in the formation. Pressure comes. Bema lets it rip down the near sideline, and it's incomplete. He overshot his man just a bit. It was bracketed. So good safety play there by the Redskins, and that's going to force a Falcon punt.
That's a great start there from the Redskins as 4 out for Glenn there. penalties.
Falcons did have that
All the
successful
drive.
play with the run by Wright, but other than that, nothing more. Pass was intended for Austin Pranger on that near sideline, but it was defended well.
Yes, I was on top. Yes.
As it's an absolute
Great punt.
boot.
Great punt.
It's going to go
This one is way
touchback.
back into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and Knox Redskins will take over for their first offensive possession here in this game. This is an offense that has dropped 150 points over the course of their first 4 games, which is just very stout. Even in a loss, they dropped 46 a couple of weeks ago to Culver Academies. The low in points this year is 21, and 21 is your low, but you're doing a lot of good things. Ball placed at
Yes, 14,
the 20-yard line. Alex McLaughlin, a dual-threat quarterback.
Yes, it shows it connected.
It's a snap, and the give goes to Conroy, who bounces it up to about the 24-yard line for a gain of about 3 or 4. We've seen Conroy early in the season on Regan Corner Sports Network. He had a really good game against North Judson, and lately he has also been stellar. We detailed in the pregame that the offense was going to run through him. 3 rushing touchdowns in his last 2 games. McLaughlin has also been a factor as well for Knox.
Absolutely has.
Give goes again to him. He finds some space, now cuts back towards the middle of the field. It's tackled down at about the 31-yard line. I believe he just got enough for a first down yardage.
That's going to be enough for Redskins. First down.
And you're spot on.
So, yeah, just enough for the Redskins' first down. And this is going to be the name of their game, is something that we've mentioned, where they're, a team that likes to run the football. Very rarely will they pass it. And, so almost setting up, using the run to set up the pass rather than using the pass to set up the run. Almost kind of like anti-NFL. A lot of even college football has really been more pass-heavy. McLaughlin, a keeper. This time he gets tripped up at about the 33-yard line for a modest pickup of about 2. It's going to be the big onus on this Falcons defense to stop the run and maybe even snack the box. It'll be interesting to see if that's the development defensively in this game.
Yeah, Tom, as we've seen, Miles has ability to throw, but it's kind of like what you see from Leonard from the ND, where it's going to be run heavy if you're going to be smart on this side here.
Second down and
Conroy.
8. Give to Conroy, picks up about 2 as the reinforcements coming defensively for the Falcons.
Tackled by a flock of Falcons.
A host of Falcon defenders were in on that stop, as it's going to be big on this Redskins offense to keep this drive alive, but also, a lot of pressure sometimes you could say even on Glenn's side defensively. This is a team that hasn't scored a lot over the course of their first 3 games, just a little over 16 points per game as a team, and that's why they have the 1-2 record. So it's going to be big to get stops to try to prevent Knox from scoring. They fake it to Conroy, McLaughlin, the keeper, and he gets dragged down.
Great defense there from John Glenn.
Tackle made by Aiden Smigelski.
It's going to be a 4 and 3 here. Decision
Down here,
time.
we'll see if they pumped it away. They are deep in their own territory, so analytics, new wave of analytics say that you should go for it in this situation, but it'll be interesting to see if they just boot this one away. We saw a defensive stop on the Falcons' first offensive possession. They were only able to pick up 1 first down on that first play.
This is going to be a possession battle here. Tom has a great kick there and a diving catch by Glenn.
Down at right about the 31-yard line, so that's where the John Glenn Falcons and Braden Benwell will take over for their second offensive possession, as both teams exchanging zeros with their first time out on the field offensively. So You know, it does kind of feel like we're shaping up maybe to see a game where, hey, it's about which team can land that first punch, for lack of a better phrase. But we'll see, because you never know with high school football. It seems like, you know, momentum can shift with one big play, and one big play could be how you score. Motion man ranging left to right, flags flying everywhere. So I believe they're going to get someone on that Falcon offense for a false start. So the second penalty we've seen on this Falcon offense. So Josh, you got to be a little bit more disciplined if you're them.
You got to be. I mean, coming in here in a hostile environment, as Knox is, great environment here. You can't have those penalties right off the bat.
Still decent starting position, but backed now first and long at the 26-yard line. 3 receivers in the formation, 1 out wide to the right, 1 out to the left, and 1 in the slot to the left. Benwell, a lot of time to throw. He's going to let it rip downfield. Pass is hauled in at the 49-yard line. Big time play by Pranger. And he gets enough for that Falcon first down at the 49-yard line. Our first time we've seen them connected. Second time we've seen Pranger targeted in this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh, a lot of that is the blocking from John Glenn's offensive line.
They got Benwell some time to move in the pocket. Line drive, nice pass, nice pocket presence there from Benwell. And just threw a strike to his wide receiver. Big play. Now they're going to go into it again.
On the play.
Yeah, another man in motion. We've seen this before from John Glenn.
Against the Falcons.
It's Eli Beanie who's the man in motion. And the second time on this drive, the drive that poised to have a lot of promise for this John Glenn team, but they have to back themselves up. And something we mentioned on the pregame, which team will shoot themselves in the foot less, that's usually the team who has better success.
For sure. Especially in this level here in 3A here in the state of Indiana. And we have 2 solid teams, and it's going to be a running battle. Both, as kind of like I said before, Glenn likes to throw it out a little bit more, but still want to establish that run.
Give to right, he picks up about 3. So getting right near where they initially were before their own penalty. Rice, junior on this team, fullback, somebody that, you know, we highlighted in our pregame as an X factor for this Glenn team. You know, we've seen them in a steady diet of passes and runs. We'll see, you know, what they tend to lean more towards as the game progresses. Seen a lot of 3 receiver sets. We see one right here. It's just a little before midfield. Benwell is going to flip. Now look for his man. Intermediate throws. Complete right near that far sideline. Incomplete, rather, excuse me. But again, we've seen this Glenn team try to pass the rock. At the midway point, just past the midway point here in this first quarter. No score between the John Glenn Falcons and the Knox Redskins. Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. Knox, Indiana. Redskins 2-2, Glenn 1-2. And this sets up a 3rd down for John Glenn, another big one. We've seen the Redskins have a stop on the first defensive possession. We'll see what they dial up here. Too high look. Benwell the snap. Pressure comes left side. Now he escapes. He's going to roll left. Has some space. And he's just going to try to slip up and get some yardage. He gets into plus territory, but well short of the line to gain.
Made by Kane Weber.
As Weber brings him down in plus territory at the 47-yard line of Knox. So we'll see what the decision is here.
Tom, I would definitely be going for it here at the 50 with 4-1 here as we go down 4 minutes here in the first quarter.
Just past the 50-yard line, and Josh, I think they listened to you because they're going to do it. Now 4 receivers in the formation with right to the left of the quarterback, Benwell.
He's right there.
Knox brings pressure. Benwell picks it up. He's going to throw it out wide to the right. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the Redskins. A turnover that they need. Ashton Walker with it defensively and 2 straight defensive stops for the Redskins.
Great stop by the Redskins there as a pass, trying to surprise the Knox Redskins on that one there. Thomas.
Brody King, the intended target from Benwell, but good job by Walker, the sophomore, to pick it off. Undercut the route, and now 1st and 10 for Knox at the 40-yard line, their own 40. Receiver out wide to the left, but it's a QB keeper with McLaughlin who pushes forward and just takes the pile with them down to 46. So a gain of 6 on their second offensive possession. Just a little under 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. We have not seen a score yet. It has been a defensive pitcher stool, if you will, stealing the terminology from another sport.
Absolutely.
Still very early in this game.
It's a barn burner there, Thomas, as we go. It's about position. It's about who's going to make that breakaway run or a long pass or just that extra play.
Conroy, a lot of patience up to the 39-yard line, just a yard shy of the line to gain, which is going to set up 3rd down and 1 for the Redskins. And we have seen, the Falcons have passed it quite a bit here in this first quarter, but with Knox and something that we detailed in the pregame, it has been all ground game. It's been all running the football, and that's something that we could have forecasted coming into tonight. 3rd down and 1, you got to figure they're lined up with everybody except for McLaughlin and Conroy on the line. And it's a QB keeper with McLaughlin, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards.
Tackle made by
As Thomas says, he's going to pick up a couple there as a great play call there from
So now into plus territory, down at the 47-yard line of Glenn. About 2.5 to play here in quarter number 1. Receiver out wide to the right. Still mostly everybody up on the line. And it's a give to Conroy. Could have been design or trickery there from the Redskins offensively. Tackle made by the Falcons. But we have seen just, their identity, Knox, is to keep it on the ground and try to wear out this Falcon defense. And, they haven't, found that big chunk play, which can sometimes really change the complexion of a quarter and of a game. But we'll see what they do here. Keeper with McLaughlin, he tries to leap over, and the hurdle attempt goes wayward. But a flag does fly in. We'll see who they're going to get here.
I don't know, but
They scored between these two teams.
Miles thought he was a track star on that one as we go, and as he jumped, trying to hurdle.
The pile of white jerseys was in on the fray. It was Eli Beanie who made the stop for the linebacker position.
That makes it 4th down for the Redskins.
As it's 4th and 1 once again. As it's 4 and 3 here. Excuse me, folks, as we go.
The line to gain the 40-yard line of John Glenn at 43. So obviously the Redskins are going for it. We saw Falcons didn't convert the 4th down on their last offensive possession, and it looks like John Glenn wants to make a full start on Knox. But the Redskins are going to call timeout and talk things over. Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. And Josh, no score so far through the first about 11 minutes of this game. And we've seen an interception from Ashton
Value
Walker
Flooring
on
in
the defensive
Valparaiso is a
side.
family-owned business with over 20-plus years in the industry. Located at 708 Silhavy Road, Value Flooring is open Monday through Saturday, offering a wide selection of flooring options and installation. With knowledge and experience, Value Flooring can also assist customers on a personal level by coordinating colors and by selecting the right products for their lifestyles. The number to call is 548-2705, and the website is valueflooringonline.com.
Discover excellence at Mueller Acura of Maryville. Whether you're seeking the thrill of a new Acura or the reliability of a certified pre-owned, we have the perfect vehicle waiting for you. At Mueller Acura, our knowledgeable team is here to provide you.
Welcome back here, folks, as we went on a commercial break here after that timeout. There, Thomas, as crucial
Fourth down and 3. Crucial is an understatement, looking to keep this drive alive. McLaughlin rolling right, pressure comes, and he's going to get thrown to the ground. A defensive, stout defensive stand by the Falcons as they stretch that toss play or option toss play out to the right, and McLaughlin was thrown down, and the Falcons will take over with possession.
Great tackle by Miller on that one as Maddox read that one right off. Let's go, Archer. Excuse me. As Eli Bitten with read that one right.
The 44-yard line. John Glenn, the Falcons offense, with Braden Benwell looking to turn things around, do a 180 here. Just over a minute to play here in the first quarter, and the Falcons will talk things over. So, seeing a couple of timeouts here in a row.
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without...
Thank you for supporting Knox Athletics.
Back to the action, a minute 13 to play here in this quarter number 1. John Glenn Falcons taking on the Knox Redskins. No score here in Knox, Indiana. Third offensive possession for John Glenn. They have been stymied through their first 2. And again, we see flags fly in. We've seen a lot of motion from this Falcons offense. They have really been killing themselves with these false starts. So they're going to set themselves behind the 8 ball again. And Josh, we did see they moved the ball quite well on both of their first 2 offensive possessions, but it was the penalties, and obviously last offensive possession, it was Benwell throwing the INT.
Fortunately, their defense holds strong there, but nonetheless, there's just all these penalties that are just adding up after. You can see the drives that they're building.
Much running room for Blake Wright. Walton brings him down at about the 41-yard line. A little under a minute to play here in this first quarter. No score between these 2 teams, and I mentioned earlier on the broadcast, 89 points allowed in the 2 losses for Knox this year. 9 points allowed as a defense in their 2 wins.
Keep going, turn it up.
Jet sweep onto the right side. There is some space
Keep working the field.
as past midfield.
You have about 3 to go.
Tackle made by
So that's what you need if you're the Falcons. AJ Lubelski on the carry, getting it right past midfield. We have seen Benwell have some clean pockets on the times he's thrown. Not a ton of attempts so far, but there have been some lanes where he can hit some receivers. So we'll see that. Appears to be a wrinkle in this offense. They're just past midfield at the 49-yard line of Knox. And first quarter comes to a conclusion. No score between the John Glenn Falcons and the Knox Redskins here in this Indiana Northern State Conference rivalry between those 2 squads. John Glenn comes in with a record of 1-2, Knox 2-2.
We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student prepare preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future.
I'll give you a signal.
First quarter came to an end, and the second quarter is upon us. Glenn now moving right to left on your screen. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Another flag flies in.
Against the Redskins.
And the penalty
That's
is
going to move the football forward. This one is on the Redskins. We have seen a lot of them so far in this first quarter plus.
absolutely.
Moves it about 5 yards forward at the 44-yard line of Knox. Gill goes to right. He's been busy, has some space, now bubbling forward up to about the 38-yard line. So a nice intermediate level pickup. About 6 yards for right. You know, it's just going to be, at least in the early going, Josh, it feels like, you know, which defense is going to blink first, because both defenses have been stout here so far.
It's going to be that one play as Wright was rumbling, stumbling, bumbling on that one, as we just got to eat the clock, get the possessions going, and
Second and 4 at the 38-yard line. Give again to Wright. This time the reinforcements are there defensively for the Redskins. Dominic Trisco with the stop coming from his defensive tackle position. And you can get consistent defensive play that sets up this situation right here, a crucial third down. It feels like there have been a lot of crucial third and fourth downs for both offenses here in this contest so far. And, you know, another one ensuing here.
absolutely there, Thomas. It seems like a play-action pass is coming here after a couple runs, because this is two-down territory here.
Send a man in motion, but the give goes to Wright, and he's just going to get stonewalled back to the 40-yard line.
Tackled in the backfield by
Conroy. And this is going to set up another crucial decision here for John Glenn. Do they go for it on fourth? Looks like in plus territory they will, rather than try to kick a long field goal.
I would be going with punting. I would punt this out and get a pin down the Redskins there, as this is a position battle.
The decision here, it looks like that is going to be the decision. And it's bobbled. And now Knox is going to get it at their opposing 45. I don't know if that was a botched trick play, but nonetheless it was botched. So we've seen an interception from this Knox defense. We've seen a stout special teams play. And it sets up their offense with good starting field position. So it didn't go to the punter. It went to Anthony McGuigan, who was right in front of the punter. So maybe they did try to design that to be a trick play to catch Knox napping, but quite the opposite, actually. Two receivers in the formation. Miles McLaughlin will take over now with his offense, looking to get something generated, and Conroy looking to do it with his legs, trying down with the 39-yard line. We've seen the yard after contact. We haven't seen the burst yet from Conroy. We're just waiting for it. A player who has had 3 rushing touchdowns over the course of the last 2 contests. McLaughlin has had 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games as well. So this dynamic duo, you got to figure, they haven't gotten going yet. They didn't get going in that first quarter, but they're just kind of waiting to burst here. the opposing 40-yard line. Everybody on the line here for Knox. As the give goes to Conway again, slips up to about the 35-yard line. Got to figure this is just ball control football here, looking to string together a quality drive. As they're going to give a first down to the Redskins. And down at the 35-yard line, it just feels like, and I've been saying it all broadcast long, you know, which team is going to blink first defensively.
Looks like Miles is either design run here coming, or it's going to be a long pass.
And it's the former designed run and a good run as he slips up for decent yardage up to about the 37-yard line. But three receivers were on to the top left of the screen, so they had maybe something there in a bunch formation, but they elected to go with the run. We have seen the Redskins do use a lot of their receivers as decoys, and when you're a team that likes to pound it on the ground, that's going to typically happen.
Absolutely. With this bunch formation, it might be a little bit of a play action to learn tight ends, or maybe an extra blocker for the running back to get him to walk open.
Give goes to Conway. Doesn't have much space after the initial carry. It's just about matriculating the ball down the field and keeping it on the ground. And if that's your identity, you're going to keep on churning the clock and picking up first downs. And we see another one from this Redskin offense.
Just turning the clock, turning the first downs here with this methodical drive.
Inside the 35 are the Redskins offensively, and none of this has been set up with the pass. Now Conroy flanked out to the left. QB keeper with McLaughlin looking for some space. He doesn't get it. I've seen the Falcons have been pretty disciplined defensively. And that's why we have this 0-0 score here at right near the midway point here in the second quarter. I've been saying it all broadcast long. It's like, which team will blink? Which team will score first? It feels like the chunk plays are not there, but if they're not there, you got to try to move the football down the field in a different way, and that's what we're seeing here from this Redskins offense. The give to Conroy, looking for some space, has it, sidestep, nice move by Conroy, and the Redskins offense moves again, getting it right near the 10-yard line, just 10 yards away from Pater, and another first down for Knox.
You gotta admire how patient of a runner Conroy is. With that success early in the year, having 3 touchdowns, one against your arch rival Judson, just slowly seeing that hole grow bigger and bigger after every run.
Miles McLaughlin on the carry for the Redskins.
Now it's a keeper with McLaughlin. This time the reinforcements are there for the Falcons. Able to hem him in and bring him down. Miles cheating on the stop, and it's going to be interesting to see, because this is a team with Knox that doesn't really throw the football, but down here, do you just keep it on the ground, or maybe do you surprise John Glenn's defense with a pass? I feel like I'd probably lean more towards the former there. And that formation shows that, tipping their hand at a run. Up on the snap. He keeps it here, bouncing it left, looking for something, space, and he is in for the touchdown! Miles McLaughlin, another rushing touchdown. He had 2 last week. He has 1 here tonight, and it's 6-0 Redskins. Pending either the extra point or 2-point conversion, we were waiting for one team to blink defensively, and it was the Falcons, as the Redskins draw first blood.
He's always doing it. He does this
Absolutely. Draw first blood in this red Water Rivalry here. A little conference action.
First signs of life offensively for either team comes at the 5:27 mark here in the second quarter. So it looks like they're lined up to go for 2 here. We'll see exactly what the decision here is.
Timeout, Redskins.
Timeout called by Knox, and
We're
we're going to see what the decision is here. 6-0. Miles McLaughlin, who's had 5 rushing touchdowns in his last 2 games, makes it 6-3.
Proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Back to the action, 6-0 game. Redskins draw first blood. Miles McLaughlin puts it in himself, and now they're going to go for 2. It's a QB keeper. McLaughlin, is he into the end zone? Flag flies in. No signal just yet, but we'll see what the decision is here. There's a Falcon defender on the ground. Looked like he was over the goal line, but we'll see what they rule it. A flag did fly in as well. They put Conroy in motion on a jet sweep, but it was a QB keeper.
Thomas is going to be some holding on there
by the Redskins. And we'll see what the decision is here, if they go for 2 or if they will kick the extra point.
Conroy in to attempt the extra point for the Redskins.
So the point after is going to come. $6-0 game. They're going to make it 7-0, and then putting the onus on John Glenn's offense to try to come back and strike with the score of their own. Something that they've struggled so far in their first 3 contests. It's Conroy's point after.
The extra point is no good.
Is no good. So it stays 6-0. Conroy unable to bang in the point after, but McLaughlin was able to put it in from a few yards out for his 6th rushing touchdown in the last 3 games, his 7th touchdown overall. And Josh, what a start to this, scoring here by the Redskins. It took them a little while to really get going, but we'll see if they can use this momentum forward in this game.
Yeah, I mean, just keep it here. Okay, so yes, with the scoring there of Knox, I mean, but with that penalty, does it open up a door for Glenn here? Because that could be a crucial penalty at the end of the game. Extra point missed and possible 2-point conversion.
Redskins are going to line up to kick this one away, and we've seen a Glenn offense that has moved the football decently well down the field. They have shot themselves in the foot with a lot of flags. We've seen some turnovers. We saw the interception from Benwell. It was picked off by the linebacker Ashton Walker. We also saw a 4th down stop by the Redskins. We saw a smart special teams play, so this is going to be interesting to see what they want to do here offensively. It's behind 6-0, but it returned at about the 10-yard line, slipping up and finding some space down at the 25. So about a 15-yard return. And that's where Braden Benwell and company will start this offensive possession 5:20 mark here in the second quarter. For the first time in this game, the Falcons are trailing down 6-0. Miles McLaughlin with the rushing touchdown. If you're just tuned in, Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call, Regan Corners Sports Network. Knox came in with a record of 2-2. John Glenn with a record of 1-2. 1-0 in the Indiana North Conference are the Redskins. 0-1 is the John Glenn Falcons. Knox 2-0 at home, looking to improve to 3-0 now with the lead. Ball starts at the 25-yard line. They have a lot of guys in motion. He gets absolutely flattened. But Regan on the jet sweep got absolutely lit up. Another big-time defensive play by the Redskins. Boy, look out.
There we go. Big-time hit.
Noah Bolin and Dominic Triska hit on the play for the Redskins defense.
Yeah, that is just something that'll make you really question, what you want to do offensively. Noah Bolin, Dominic Triska, the two on the stop. McGuigan just went nowhere. Actually lost yardage.
Lost the ball.
Lost the football as well, and the Redskins will take over with a chance to go up 2 scores as McLaughlin bounces it forward to about the 12-yard line.
Yeah.
And that's just a turning point that you need in a game like this. A game that was been so dominant defensively for the Redskins, and a chance to tack on another score here after their first touchdown just about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, very crucial fumble there, as a great play by 73 on
Conroy bounces it up to about the 11-yard line, and we have been waiting for that big offensive punch, but we have now seen a couple of defensive punches. The strong hit, which led to the fumble from McGuigan, which Knox was able to take over, and obviously Ashton Walker's interception of Braden Benwell earlier in this game back in the first quarter. So we have seen some scoring for Knox, but it has been a game steered mostly by their defense. And when they can get strong defensive play, they usually come out on top. The QB keeper has some space right up the gut, and he's going to be tackled down right near the goal line, down at about the 1-yard line. But a first down for the Redskins, first and goal here at about the 1, maybe 2-yard line. And it has been ball control football, ground game football. Now 2 receivers out wide to the left. Empty backfield for McLaughlin. We've seen this before, and it's been a QB keeper. He keeps it, and he is in for the touchdown. Miles McLaughlin, his second here in the second quarter. The Redskins go up 2 scores. So for Miles McLaughlin, who came in with 5 rushing touchdowns in his last 2 games, makes it now 7 here in the last 3, and 8 touchdowns overall. This Redskins offense now up 12-0. We'll see if they are going to go for 2 to make it 14-0. Conroy missed the extra point after their first touchdown. Looks like they are lined up to go for 2. 2 receivers out wide to the right. McLaughlin, a keeper. He has some space, looking for something to develop. And the extra push. Knox says he's in. No signal just yet.
He got it. Forward progress.
We're going to say that we're going to have a conversation between the referees. Everyone kind of waiting around. We'll see what the signal is. It looked initially like he was stuffed, but maybe that last little push was able to get him over, and it is. McLaughlin, a 2-point conversion, 14-0 Redskins. They have scored 14 points here in the last 2.5 minutes. Touchdown, defensive forced fumble and another touchdown and 2-point conversion. So 14-0 Knox with a big-time lead at the 3:23 mark here before halftime. You're on Regan Corner Sports Network. Back to the action, 14-0 Knox. Here in Knox, Indiana, Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. Regan Corner Sports Network's Game of the Week. Indiana Northern State Conference rivals. 14-0. The Redskins have scored all 14 points here in this second quarter.
Flag on the play.
As a flag does fly in here on the play, we'll see what they call it. And this has been a game that has been really highlighted by the defense for Knox. They have forced 2 John Glenn turnovers, an INT, and then a defensive hit, a huge defensive hit, which led to the fumble by McGuigan. And the Redskins were able to take that and turn that into points as well. Miles McLaughlin has 2 rushing touchdowns here tonight. Jake Conroy has been a focal point of this Redskin offensive attack as advertised coming into tonight's game. Now, something that I've mentioned a lot on this broadcast, when Knox doesn't give up points defensively, they win games. Now, in their 2 wins so far this year, they've given up a combined 9 points. In their 2 losses, they've given up a combined 89 points. So just a stark contrast, but looking good here tonight. 14-0 lead as Glenn has a caught and a good return as he's tackled down at about the 42-yard line. So that is a big-time return from Brody Kim to take it to the 42, and that's where Braden Bell and the Glenn Falcons will get things going here. An offense that has been a bit stagnant so far here in this first half. Looking to do a 180 and turn things around. Still a lot of time, though, Josh, to get things going.
I mean, that's going to jumpstart it. You have to think that's going to jumpstart it there. As you just keep this possession clean. Too many flags here in the first half. 3:16 to go. 1 score puts you right back into this game.
Another nugget, too. The Redskins do get the ball to start the second half, so scoring here all the more important for this team. He's going to let it rip down the field, and it's hauled in. A big play. This is the big connection that they need. Right up near the 23-yard line. A first down for the Falcons. We've seen them air the ball out a bit here in this game, and exactly what they need here is time dwindling down here in the second quarter.
Very much on cue of what we just talked about. We're at 1 score, making this game very interesting here. It has 1 throw. The wide receiver could be dancing a little silly in that touchdown celebration as we go here.
Just inside the 25, the give goes to right. He has space and gets upended after a decent pickup, tackled down at about the 20-yard line. And this is a defense in the Redskins that has been stout and really a force so far here in this first half for Knox. So you don't want that to be a bit soured with a late score here for Glenn, but the Falcons looking to just scratch and claw and get back into this game.
They're looking to do it on Knox's homecoming night here. As we saw a little bit of, as we're going to have floats probably at halftime.
The 20-yard line to give against the right. He's been busy. This time just a pickup of about 3.
Tackle made by Weber.
Tackle made by Weber. He's been active defensively for the Redskins, and this is a team that, really stout, really strong defensive showing here tonight. And over the course of the first 3 games, Glenn has only scored 49 points. So you got to figure the overall big picture look from their team offensively is to get going. And obviously this is a situation where they're going to be on defense to start the third quarter, so have to score here. Benwell, a lot of time, is going to let it rip for the seam. As it's pulled in and tackled down at the 2-yard line. Another big pickup.
That's what you need to do if you're Glenn.
Hauls it in for a Falcon first down.
Right now they're letting Benwell cook. Remember when they used to say Russ cook? They're letting Benwell cook here as the clock turning down here, trying to get points.
We're good.
Probably a back shoulder to a tall wide receiver. As they're going to
give
go
it to
right.
White, and he's about a yard shy of Hager. He was just kept down. As the clock keeps on moving here for the Falcons. It's like a timeout is going to be called by Glenn. So they want to talk things over. This is a team that, we have seen, have some struggles scoring the football, but if they're able to put something on the board here, it can really change the complexion of this game. And even though they have to defer going into the second half, we'll see how it looks. Offensively for the Redskins, it hasn't looked extremely sharp, but they're able to get the 14 points on the board in this second quarter. 2 rushing touchdowns from junior Miles McLaughlin.
Absolutely. And it looks like they're going to run it probably again with Wright up the gut. He's got a couple plays to play with here.
3 receivers in formation for Benwell to choose from. But at the 1-yard line, it's a QB sneak with Benwell, and they're going to say he crosses the goal line for the Falcon touchdown. So as the second quarter comes to an end, as we're dwindling down, Braden Benwell, who we saw as a receiver, make some big plays on that drive, able to do his own version of the tush push and get 6 points on the board for the Falcons.
Absolutely.
So 14-6 pending the decision here. It looks like the Falcons are going to line up for the point after, just to try to put one on the board. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, it is through. So 7 points on the board for John Blunt. Braden Benwell, a 1-yard QB sneak touchdown to close the deficit to 7. And it's now been a back and forth first half between these two squads. Redskins have been stout defensively, but on that last possession from John Glenn, the Falcons were able to drive down the field and get 7 on the board right before halftime here in Knox, and that's big time in this game, especially considering you're deferring going into the third quarter. Now, we mentioned how Knox is when they're able to get defensive stops, and they've given up 9 points combined in 2 games in their 2 wins, but they've given up over 40 in both of their losses. So we'll see if the Falcons maybe have a fight, a comeback, a rally in their bones. But right now the score 14-7. Knox will get the ball back. We're just before halftime here in this game.
And if you're Knox, unless it's an onside kick coming up, what do you do? Do you just kneel it going to half, knowing that you have the ball coming back?
It'll be an interesting decision. Conroy is the deep man for Knox, looking to return it. End over and kick is returned. With some blockers, that's a decent return. As the Redskins are able to take it up near the 40-yard line. So we'll see if the Redskins want to do something here. Very limited time in this game. Or if they just want to head into the locker rooms with a 7-point lead. Falcons cut into that lead with the score on the last drive. First quarter was nothing. It was a defensive showing. We saw a lot of defense in the second quarter, but that's where the scoring really started to show itself. And that's why the Redskins have a 14-7 lead. They're going to run a play here with Conroy. And this is up to about the 45-yard line.
Tackle made by Miles Cheaton.
Cheaton on the stop.
Let's go.
That's going to go into halftime there.
And that'll do it for the first half of play with the
14-7, the Redskins nursing a 7-point lead as we take it to the half. 2 rushing touchdowns from Miles McLaughlin, a rushing touchdown from Braden Benwell. So all 3 scorers combined from these 2 squads have been running touchdowns from these dual threat quarterbacks. We've seen Braden Benwell, the quarterback for John Glenn, also out wide as a receiver, and he's hauled in a couple of passes. We've seen 2 turnovers from a stout defensive showing from the Redskins. And it's going to be interesting to see as we take shape after this halftime break, which team is going to utilize their momentum or maybe swing things in their direction to try to pull a victory here tonight in Knox, Indiana.
Absolutely, as we go into our halftime show after these commercial breaks, and we'll come back with the key players of the half on both squads there, Thomas, as we go into it.
Yeah.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright.com.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack & Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack & Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack & Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack & Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Oh, now Mesh boosts Wi-Fi all over your home. Taking a class in your attic, that dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave, learn to paint on your lawn.
He's glorious.
And now on the road, you can take T-Mobile Wi-Fi with you. Hey, stay connected and watch what you'll do.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of Notre Dame Athletics, wants to reward you for everyday banking. CU1's high-yield checking offers the opportunity to earn up to 5.25% APY when you make qualifying transactions each month. No monthly fees and no minimum or opening balance required. Plus, you'll be able to bank anytime and anywhere with 24/7 digital and mobile banking. Start making more of your money with Credit Union One. Open an account at cu1.com/high-yield checking.
Importantly, you, the community members, for supporting music education in our schools. Be sure to stop by the concession stand and get yourself a ribeye steak sandwich or a Tater Brigade baked potato to help support all of the Knox bands. Congratulations to the Knox Redskin Brigade on an excellent performance. Good luck as you continue your competition season. Go Redskin Brigade!
Welcome back here at Regan's Corner Sports Network for the All-Star Autos halftime show. As we just saw the band there for Knox here at homecoming, a little bit of floats, a little bit of commercials, a little bit of action here. But let's get back to the action there, Thomas. Who do you got as the guardian so far of the night? Especially by
I've got Miles McLaughlin. Miles McLaughlin's been able to run the ball for 2 touchdowns. You know, we have seen him really, he's been a focal point lately for this Knox team, and I think my nod right now would be McLaughlin, the way he's played. But you can also really give it to the Knox defense outside of that final possession for John Glenn.
1, 2, 3.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
As Benwell was absolutely on fire in that last drive. Very crucial to the Falcons to get back into this game after a 14-0 run by the Redskins.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, this is a team that, as I've mentioned so far, time in and time out on the broadcast, in their 2 wins, their defense has given up 9 points combined. In their 2 losses, their defense has given up 89 points combined. So far tonight, their defense has only allowed 7 points. So we'll see if maybe this John Glenn offense and Braden Benwell, who's used as a receiver as well as, you know, a quarterback. He had a rushing touchdown late in that second quarter as well. Maybe him and the Falcons get going offensively and steal one on the road, or we'll see if Miles McLaughlin and Jake Conroy, amongst others on this Knox team, can hold them off and pick up their 3rd home win of the year and their 3rd win of the year overall. And more importantly, the 2nd win it would be for Knox here in this Indiana Northern State Conference.
And with how good this conference is, we saw that Jimtown took it to on Glenn at their house last week. We saw the Tippecanoe, win last week here for Knox. This conference is so tight. A team like Laville next week, that could be a mega game coming into here. And if the Redskins can take care of business here tonight in the second half, like you said, they get the ball in the first. Probably a lot more runs to come with Miles and with Conroy.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing to see, because that is their bread and butter, and that's something that we've mentioned a lot on the broadcast. That's something we have seen play out in this game, and you got to figure, you know, McLaughlin, he doesn't throw the ball because he doesn't need to, because his legs are so useful, and Jake Conroy is another focal point of this offense. And you know, when they run things kind of on the ground and keep it on the ground and just pound the ball and pick up the slow gains, which eventually lead to the big chunk plays, that kind of allows them to unlock what they want to do offensively, which is keep it on the ground and force Glenn's defense to do something. And Glenn defensively was not bad at all in that first quarter, but then the Redskins eventually found their footing. They marched down the field. McLaughlin with his first rushing touchdown, and then obviously the fumble, the forced fumble on the 2 Knox defenders in Bolin and Trisca that just absolutely lit up Anthony McQueen on the jet sweep. They were able to get the ball back, score a touchdown and 2-point conversion, but then Glenn marched down the field and got a touchdown and an extra point of their own. So that second quarter showed a lot more flair than the first quarter, so we'll see what the second half has in store for us here on Regan Corner Sports Network and our game of the week here in Knox, Indiana. And Yeah, Josh, to your point, Knox plays LaVille next Friday and Glenn plays Bremen. So, again, not really that much of a break, especially for the team that loses tonight, because as I mentioned on the pregame, you know, the loser, not only are you losing, but you're also giving an in-conference team a win. And especially with everybody in the Indiana Northern State Conference playing each other here tonight, you can't have that. And it's imperative for whichever team is able to come out with a victory to come out with a victory here tonight. And just 24 minutes of game left to play as the second half is getting ready. I'd still say we're a few minutes before kickoff, but it will be interesting to see if the Redskins continue with their momentum or if the Falcons are able to seize momentum and get it back onto their side and maybe change the tides and flip this one around and steal a game here on the road.
Congratulations to the Knox High School girls golf team for finishing sectional runners-up today and advancing to regionals.
As we go into commercial, and we'll be back with the kickoff of the second half in 2 minutes. So that is the Ulster Autos halftime show for you guys at home. Also, we'll crown at the end of the game our Crown the World's Lantern Man for both teams and both squads. The Boilermaker, Blue Collar, and our Guardian of the Night by Guardian Painters. And our Jim Biggs, go for Jim Biggs, big time player of the game. All with the Tech Union post-game show.
So who's the list?
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Underway here in the second half. as we're just about underway to get things going. A 14-7 Knox Redskins lead. And the onus will be on them to try to pad onto a 7-point advantage here at this point on Regan Corner Sports Network. And, you know, if you're Miles McLaughlin, 2 rushing touchdowns on the night, you got to figure the game plan here, you know, it sounds simple, but it's a lot tougher to execute, especially with the way John Glenn's defense has been playing. But it's to keep the ball on the ground, run the football, take time off the clock, and really see what you can do to try to move the football down the field and go up 2 scores and make it a lot tougher and put the pressure on John Glenn to drive down the field and score offensively. And that's going to be big in this game. Flags flying on the carry, but brought down right near the 10-yard line. We'll see what the flag is on. Conroy's been a big focal point of this offense so far.
Absolutely there, Tom, as that might be holding on Knox.
Yeah, but there'll be 4 other people that can take out before me.
I think it was an outside run to the right side to try to set something up.
Holding penalty against the Redskins, face mask penalty against the Falcons. Those penalties offset.
As an
So
offset.
holding and a face mask. Face mask on Glenn, the holding on Knox. Those will offset, so we'll redo the play. And this is a Redskins team coming into play with 150 points forced as a team over the course of their first 4 contests. So a bit of a tick below where they were at pace-wise before tonight, but nonetheless, they could still scratch and claw and win this game. As McLaughlin, a QB keeper, he has some space. Now bounces on the right side. McLaughlin is free. Down the near sideline, past midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He is gone. There's the chunk play. McLaughlin's 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. The hat trick, 20-7 Redskins.
You can't give Miles McLaughlin space to work on that one as he just took it to the house.
Right on cue, not even a minute in here in this 3rd quarter, and just like that, we're talking, Josh. Now, can Knox go up 2 scores? And boy, did they ever! With an exclamation point, and now you got to figure if you're Glenn, your next offensive possession now has a heightened importance down 2 scores, and this is a Knox defense that has 2 turnovers on their own side as well. So the Redskins have really set themselves up here very well tonight. So we'll see if they kick the extra point or go for 2. They're going to call timeout to talk things over. We saw Conroy miss one earlier in this game on their first touchdown, and then they went for 2 on their second touchdown, so we'll see what they do here. But just to touch on McLaughlin, he had 3 rushing touchdowns 2 weeks ago in a 47-46 loss against Colbert Academies. Last week against Tippecanoe, he had 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing, and he has 3 rushing touchdowns here tonight. So it has just been a one-man show for this Redskins offense, to say the least, in terms of scoring. And they have really set themselves up, Josh, in the driver's seat here in this game, and looking to improve to 2-0 in conference, 3-2 overall, and 3-0 here at home.
Absolutely in the driver's seat here as Redskins. But there's going to be a clutch. I can feel a clutch thing for the Falcons coming up here. I mean, this is very similar to the last drive where they would come down 14-0, and a key drive by John Glenn to put it back within 7. But you can't have that. Just absolute misassignment there.
Now to the right, the ball pops out. It pops out, and it looks like they're shy of the goal line. So the 2-point conversion unsuccessful, so it stays at 20-7. But nonetheless, Miles McLaughlin with the hat trick, 3 rushing touchdowns here tonight. He had 2 in the second quarter, 1 here to start the third. So he has just been tough to stop, someone that we highlighted as someone to look out for from the Glen side, Glen perspective rather, and well, he has really been more than advertised, to say the least, here tonight.
Absolutely. With that run, he breaks the Mendoza line with 100 rushing there, as that was almost about an 80-yard touchdown run. A lot of Miles' runs have been very short, 5 bits here.
Yeah, we mentioned they didn't get that big chunk play until then. And, you know, eventually we just kind of felt like, you know, with this offense, it's been so stout throughout their first 4 games this season that we just kind of figured, you know, when, not if. And, boy, we were just waiting for them to pop, and they have so far here tonight. And now Glen will get it back and look to just do something on their own offensive end. An offense in the Falcons that has turned the ball over twice to the Redskins, so we'll see if they can have a 180 here.
After having 2 turnovers, I liked how Benwell adjusted in that half. Let's see if he continues that. Again, you have it at the midline after that.
Good job, Bailey.
Yeah, pooch punt is handled at about the 45-yard line. So that's where Glen and Braden Benwell will start things off here in this third quarter. Their first offensive possession here in the second half. And I could see kind of what the Redskins were thinking. Maybe that hits one of the return men and you can get a weird bounce to get the ball back. But you do give this Falcon offense very good starting field position at their own 45.
That could be potentially a momentum switch.
Falcons did score on their last offensive possession, looking to do the same here. 3 in the pattern to choose from, but a false start is going to be called. We've seen this a lot from this John Glen offense. Another false start for the Falcons that's going to put them back at the 40-yard line. You just can't keep putting yourself in the hole, because a defense like the Redskins will take advantage, and they have so far.
Against great teams like Knox, you cannot do that to yourselves. So many penalties off of yards here as we go. That was a great pass.
Right, this pass is caught right up near midfield, so they get a lot of the yardage right back as it's hauled in by King. And just past midfield go the Falcons. So this is an offense that, you know, we have seen them look decent so far in pockets of this game, but it's just been the consistency so far for them, as well as the turnovers, as to why they have really been behind the 8 ball in this game. And you look at the scoreboard, that kind of reflects it too. Play action fake. Now a roll out right. The throw is incomplete, intended for King again on that far sideline. But they're unable to hook up, so it's going to set up another play coming for Glen.
And Thomas, I could see where Glen was kind of thinking to get him rolling out of the pocket, especially since they're stacking the formation there. He's trying to get open space, your athletes there, as there we go. It just didn't, the blocking there just did not execute enough as the bull rush coming.
Third down, QB keeper, and he's going to pick up the first down with his legs. Enough for the Falcon first down, just past the 45-yard line, down at about the 43.
You got plenty of game here if you're Glen as we go here. 2 quarters basically left. 2-score game, granted, but with 1 throw as
First and 10, low snap, it's handled, and the kid goes to the back right. He's yet to really get going. He's been utilized in this game. And we have seen, if you're the Falcons, you can't really be playing methodical here. You have to almost kind of take what you want instead of taking what the defense is giving you.
I'm guessing Brody. I'm going Brody.
A lot of receivers forming the pattern to choose from.
Yes, Brody.
9.5 mark, snap comes, pressure comes on the left side. He's going to roll out right, looking for some space here. He's going to air it out down the far sideline, and it's incomplete. So they tried to connect on a big play, but unable to do so.
Pass intended for Brody King, called incomplete.
Intended for King. He's been targeted a lot on this possession for Glenn.
It was great route running by King there, just a little bit out of his reach. But you want to see Benwell maybe take off in that situation, get that corner. Get a few yards there and trying to get a manageable third down.
And now it's going to be very tough to get something going. His right keeper, decent yardage. As he's tackled down, dragged to the ground at about the 36-yard line. McLaughlin on the stop. This is a Glenn team, as I mentioned, 49 points throughout their first 3 contests. So only 7 here tonight and trailing. This is where it could be tough to climb in this game.
As an offsides on right.
Flag flies in. He's going to let it rip down the far sideline, and it's intercepted. We'll see if this stands, but Josh's point offside, so this might be coming back.
As they're discussing which team is offsides on, because it could be a motion penalty, unless it also could be a neutral violation. It could go either way.
There we go.
Illegal shift against the Falcons. Penalty is declined. Redskins ball, first and 10. First down, Redskins.
And the pick will stand. Another turnover on the night defensively. And it'll be a first down for Knox. So 3 turnovers here tonight. It's just been an onslaught, or at least it's poised to be an onslaught here tonight.
It does that quickly. Absolutely there, Thomas.
You got to figure that big chunk play by McLaughlin, you could really, set something up for another big chunk play where you could just chew the clock and run the football, and they've been very successful in doing so. So we will see the route that the Redskins choose to take up 2 scores, 20-7, at about the 8:29 mark here in quarter number 3. Next week, Knox plays Louisville. Glenn plays Bremen. Both these teams competing in the Indiana Northern State Conference. Knox 1-0, Glenn 0-1.
Do we only have 10 on the field?
Knox the leaders in the conference.
You only have 10 on the field.
The modest pickup there on first down. Knox, LaVille, Jimtown all 1-0. Bremen, Glen, and Tippecanoe Valley all 0-1. So we'll see how that shapes up. It's been crowded so far between those 6 teams. Got to figure it'll be crowded all season long. The Knox looking to stay squeaky clean in their conference 1-0 record, looking to make it 2-0. More importantly here, just trying to drain the clock down and maybe even set up another big play to go up 3 scores. Up 13 right now, 20-7. Direct snap goes to McLaughlin. He bounces it forward to about the 27-yard line.
2 yards. Tackle made by Walter Rivalry and Eli Bean.
For the quarterback McLaughlin, who has the hat trick here tonight. He has 3 rushing touchdowns. He had that big, long 75-plus yard run right as the third quarter hit on their first possession of this quarter. And we were kind of waiting for that big choke play for this Knox offense, and we eventually got it. And it has just been dominant so far lately for McLaughlin, and he has been great here tonight. Another keeper bounces it up near the 30-yard line.
Tom, now they're trying to run down the clock here.
Coming up for Redskins, first down,
as they should.
Redskins.
Stacking the formations with their tight ends here for extra blocking. Trying to get holes for the running backs. And I'm counting quarterback and Miles as a running back here, as they've used him as a wildcat most of this game.
Now give here to Conroy, tackled down at about the 31-yard line. This is a Knox team that, as we have mentioned, when they don't give up points, they win, and when they do, they lose. But, you know, they've been stout on both sides, offensively and defensively here tonight, falling about the 31-yard line, and they can just drain the clock and really play their game. It felt like, you know, in the pregame show, you tuned in. You know, I mentioned which team was going to control the football and control this game, and right now it looks like it is the Redskins.
Conroy on the carry for the Redskins.
Conroy has been busy so far in this quarter, looking to just salt this one away. Not much there on that pickup. There's a host of Falcon defenders bring him down. Miles Cheaton, the one on the stop. Ball at about the 32-33 yard line, their own 33.
Absolutely. These Redskins have looked impressive, as John Glenn's defense has been, other than a few chunk plays, been very good.
The false start is going to be called on Knox, and it will be. And yeah, Josh, to your point, you know, this defense for John Glenn has not been poor. You know, obviously they haven't had the same success as the Knox defense, and you know, they have allowed this Knox offense, albeit a stout offense, to drive down the field in that second quarter. But you know, that second touchdown for the Redskins was really just set up by Knox's defense, forcing the fumble. And then obviously that big chunk play by McLaughlin, who peeled that runoff down the near sideline for his third rushing touchdown of the night. But other than that, it has been a pretty clean game defensively. So McLaughlin is going to pass it downfield. And it's complete to Jake Conroy right up near midfield. So the Redskins will move the sticks, first down for Knox, and the team that seldom throws it, but you know, sometimes you can shock a defense by doing so, and I think the Falcons might have been shell-shocked there.
Absolutely. Kind of like a Navy kind of mindset there,
Yeah.
all you to sleep, because Miles can throw the ball. I mean, the scouting report has that in it, as you saw it against Judson. I mean,
now a keeper to Conroy, bouncing it left, but reinforcements, it's a couple of white jerseys, are in on the stop. Blake Wright in on the stop from his linebacker position, as well as Reed Taylor, the middle linebacker. And Glenn will play Bremen next week, and in jeopardy of falling to 1-8. Their next game is at home next Friday night. then at LaVille, at Tippecanoe Valley. So their next 3 opponents are Indiana Northern Conference rivals as well.
Very interesting there, as almost all the schools are very close in geography-wise as we go here. I mean, it's not a small night from 1 to 6 in this conference as we go into it. Another spread formation here as a keeper.
McLaughlin, the keeper, up to the 45-yard line, so into plus territory. Tackled down at the Glen 45. If you take a look at the Knox schedule, they have, similar situation to Glen. Their next game is at home against LaVille next Friday night, and then October 4th at Joetown, October 11th at Bremen. So they also play 3 in-conference opponents. As a timeout is called by Knox, they're going to want to talk things over. 20-7, they lead it here in quarter number 3. Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. 3 rushing touchdowns from Knox quarterback Miles McLaughlin. He has been the engine, the anchor offensively for this team. And we've also seen a stout defensive showing for Knox. It's been a complete game. Ashton Walker with an INT. We saw 2 defensive players in Noah Bullen and Dominic Triska come in and collide with the ball carrier Anthony McGuigan back in that second quarter, which led to a fumble, eventually leading to the second of 3 McLaughlin rushing touchdowns. So, it has just been a complete effort by the Redskins. We've seen a special teams play as well, and they have to be very stoked about the performance that they've put on here so far through almost the first 3 quarters. Still some football left to be played.
I think all those plays the first half were designated runs.
The Redskins have really looked the part here tonight, and they've been on and off so far. 500, 2-2, coming into play tonight. They are poised to improve to 3-2, and what a win it would be. Keeper McLaughlin looked to bounce left. Now we'll just up the middle as he's tackled down at about the 43-yard line. So we'll see if they give him enough for the first down yardage. Conroy pleading his case, as it's going to bring up 4th down and short for Knox. Goes without saying that they're going to leave the offense on the field and go for this in all likelihood.
Absolutely, as they bring
especially with the way McLaughlin has carried the ball.
Bring in the hammer back here as a little fake.
Miles McLaughlin on the keeper for the Redskins.
McLaughlin keeps and gets the first down. Got enough for first down yardage. That fake might have been a bit of a hesitation, but nonetheless, they move the sticks. And more importantly here for Knox at this stage of the game, even though there is some time left, it's about first downs. And if you're able to break one big and get a touchdown, then that's even better. But now at the opposing 41-yard line, it's just keep the ball on the ground, don't shoot yourself in the foot, don't turn the ball over, and they have been very successful in that regard.
Absolutely.
Everyone on the line of scrimmage.
As the read option's been
to
deadly.
Conroy. He's going to backpedal his way forward for decent yardage. Another first down for Knox, 29-yard line. Or check that 31-yard line.
Absolutely, as he's rumbling, stumbling on that one. As we go into a first down, that read option's been...
And that's where, it's so tough to stop, Josh, that read option where, you don't know who's running the football, but with both McLaughlin and Conroy, they're both weapons. It could be tough in a game like this where you're trailing by 2 scores and it almost feels like it's worse. So McLaughlin and keeper, this time the reinforcements come in for the Falcons. Tackled down right at the line of scrimmage, so nothing gained by McLaughlin. Kind of hobbling coming up.
Absolutely, as a misread there by Miles McLaughlin. If he hands it off to Conroy might still be running. That's open grass.
Yeah, nothing but green grass. High snap, but it's handled by McLaughlin. The kick goes to Conroy. So this time they might have listened to you, Josh, as Conroy slips up at about the 25-yard line, enough for the Knox first down. We've seen a lot of first downs here on this possession, with the Redskins just poised to chew the clock and, you know, really wind it down and put Glenn in a precarious position, to say the least.
Absolutely, as a 2-touchdown lead going into the fourth.
Everybody on the line of scrimmage except for McLaughlin and Conroy. They were trying to get somebody to jump, but to no avail. You just tuned in, Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. 20-7. The Redskins with a 2-score lead over the John Glenn Falcons. 3 rushing touchdowns from quarterback Miles McLaughlin. Braden Benwell, the quarterback for Glenn, has a rushing touchdown of his own. So it has been the quarterback game, to say the least. It's also been the defensive game to highlight for the Redskins. You know, a team that came in allowing 98 points as a unit over the course of their first 4 games, which, you know, is not what we've seen tonight. We have seen a rejuvenated defense. We've seen 3 turnovers. We've seen a special teams play, and, you know, that's how you're going to win games. Obviously, we talk about McLaughlin and Conroy and the offense, but it's also the defense as well, as quarter number 4 is coming up here. Redskins scored 14 of their 20 points in that second quarter, and then had that big chunk play right out of halftime. And that's where we stand right here as quarter number 4 gets ready to start. Right before the red zone are the Redskins offense. At about the 25-yard line, first down and 10. Empty backfield for McLaughlin. We've seen him use his legs a bunch in this game. Flag flies in. He's tackled down. After a gain of about 1 or 2, we'll see what the flag is on. We've seen a Glenn team that has been flagged a bunch offensively in this game.
That's the just.
That is part of the story.
Against the Redskins.
It's a hold on Knox, so that'll come back.
As Glenn gets a break there, as the Redskins were driving once again in the Falcons' territory.
You know, it was just about which team is going to play more disciplined football, and for most of the night, not right there, but for most of the night, it has been the Redskins. But now backed here at about the 35-yard line. You see some trickery here. It's a fake pitch and now an inside run. He gets slammed and spins to the ground. After a pickup of about 2 or 3. It's McLaughlin, the ball carrier. A lot of contact there in the middle of the field, but again, something we saw a lot late in that third quarter. We expect to see here in quarter number 4, which is, you know, pound the football, run down that clock, and get out of here with a win.
Absolutely.
Empty backfield. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to air it down the near sideline into the end zone. And it's incomplete. Pass intended for Conroy, but it was bracketed and covered nicely by Glenn.
Great coverage by
Only
Glenn
the second
there.
pass attempt for McLaughlin. We did see him connect earlier in this game to Conroy, so that is a part of their weaponry, not a very common card that they pull out.
I mean, when Miles has got a cannon, but he's running back by trade, as we saw. But
Can we roll out? Like they did with Kaiser?
Redskins will call timeout and talk things over.
They were going with Jake. They were really going with Jake.
okay, and we'll go to commercial before they do that.
Value Flooring in Valparaiso is a family-owned business with over 20-plus years in the industry. Located at 708 Silhavy Road, Value Flooring is open Monday through Saturday, offering a wide selection of flooring options and installation. With knowledge and experience, Value Flooring can also assist customers on a personal level by coordinating colors and by selecting the right products for their lifestyles. The number to call is 548-2705, and the website is valueflooringonline.com.
Discover excellence at Moeller Acura of Maryville. Whether you're seeking the
Back to the action, 20-7. The Redskins with a 13-point lead, and now flags fly in again.
Procedure penalty against the Redskins.
Checking some scores in the Indiana Northern State Conference. As of right now, Jimtown with a 29-7 lead over Bremen. Tippecanoe Valley leads LaVille 32-21, a high-scoring affair in LaVille. So some things to note for both of these teams. If you're just tuned in, Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call. McLaughlin looking to throw again. Has time. He's going to air it out down the field. And it's a leaping grab made with flags flying in.
Possible pass interference.
Jake Conroy tackled down at the 10-yard line. We'll see what those flags are.
Oh, no, they call it a rock.
As the flags were in the backfield, so that would probably indicate maybe a pass interference. But if that's the case, Knox would decline it. Have the play stand. First and 10 at the 10. The give goes to Conroy inside the 5. Tackled down at the 2-yard line. Right before the goal line, as they're looking to extend this to a 3-score advantage here in the fourth quarter and make it really, really tough for Glenn to come back. It feels like Glenn really hasn't had much of the football here in the second half. It has been a lot of Redskins as they really held on to the ball, as Conroy will finish it off with the touchdown. From 1 yard out, the Redskins go up 3 scores.
That run game is deadly there for the Redskins, as we've seen it once again with the handoff, that read option going up the middle.
26-7 pending the point after. It has just been an offensive and defensive showing for Knox. A complete attack for the home team here tonight. It's Conroy, who just had the touchdown, will look to bang in the point after. His kick is up. It is no good. Second missed point after, so it stays at 26-7. But a 19-point lead for Knox here in quarter number 4. So McLaughlin has 3. Conroy now with 1. And boy, it's going to be very tough for this Glen team to try to get something going, down by 19 with just about 9 minutes left here in this game. And the story of the game is really just going to be, obviously it's going to be Miles McLaughlin's touchdowns, but I'd be remiss if I hadn't mentioned the defensive showing of Knox and their 2 takeaways from the quarterback Regan Benwell on Glen's side. And it's also been a just very disciplined defense. They really haven't let Glen get any big chunk plays. We didn't see Knox's offense get chunk plays until later in the game, but the Falcons have really not been able to get anything brewing on offense. And albeit a lot of that has been penalties on their own end, but this Redskins team has just been absolutely tight-knit and airtight, and they have played very stout and very well here in this game. Conroy will boot this one away. And I guess if you're Glen, it's just about trying to put something on the board just to try to maybe chip away and give yourself a chance in this game. Here's the return. A decent return, as it's up to about the 26, just past the 25-yard line. As Brody King, the returner, will set his guys up at the 26. Something to note, last week Glen lost to Jimtown 22-14, but now Jimtown defeating Bremen 29-7 in the fourth quarter of that game. So Bremen and Glen will meet up next week in Walkerton, Indiana, the home of the Falcons. And for Knox, they will play LaVille, who is losing right now to Tippecanoe Valley 32-21 in the fourth quarter of that game. So we'll see how those shape up in next week's matchup. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Benwell looking left, throwing left down the field, and the pass is hauled in on that far side, right up near the 40-yard line. And a big play is exactly what they need just to try to get back into this game.
Instead of sticking our hands up, I can
So one play, it puts the Falcons in plus territory at the opposing 41-yard line. Obviously, these are throwing situations for Benwell. He's going to get the snap a lot of time. Now looking quick out to the right. It's hauled in, but immediately thrown to the ground by Conroy as the pass was hauled in for a modest pickup.
Yeah, Knox is starting to read those routes beautifully, as we just saw there. Almost getting picked, nonetheless, catch. So we're going back here, airing it out. I've seen what I've liked here by Benwell.
Four in the pattern to choose from. He has a lot of time. He's going to let it rip up the seam. High throw, incomplete, intended for his man. It's going to fall incomplete. Lucky that wasn't an INT.
Very good.
And it's third down.
So 3rd down coming up for Glen. And Knox has been stout all night long defensively. Got to figure they might bring the heat here on 3rd. Give goes to right. He bounces it right up the middle. Let's see where they spot him. It's been busy so far here tonight on the ground. I think he's right at about the 32-yard line.
Tackle made by Hunter Anderson and Kane Weber for the Redskins, and it's 4th down!
So 4th down and short, 4th and 2 to be exact. Falcons looking to keep this offensive drive alive. It's been a relatively successful one up to this point, but looking to just keep the momentum going, down by 19.
Yes, there we go, 1st down, here we go, coach.
They might have got someone to jump, and they did. So that'll be costly.
That was a great snap catch by
Regan, the strong safety coming in, jumped too early, went off sides. So we mentioned the discipline issues for the Falcons, but that will hand Glenn a 1st down.
You can't do that if you're on Knox's side or giving John Glenn some breathing room here.
Low snap, pressure comes, now rolling right, throwing a wobbler up the near sideline. And it is hauled in for some decent yardage. It's just about, which team is able to, if you're Glenn, just get something going offensively. I know it's winding down here in the 4th quarter.
You gotta hurry up here as we're down a couple scores. 3 exact here as we go. As the clock goes down to about 7 minutes. And a group of Redskins.
The keeper, but he's thrown to the ground.
The backfield, loss on the play.
So a loss on the play. The reinforcements came in from Knox, and we have seen this a lot from this defensive team, which has been stout. And, it's going to be very tough, obviously, to contain Knox offensively. But then on the defensive side, as 3rd down coming up for Glenn, it has been very tough for them to really get anything going.
There. Get him.
A lot of time. He's going to air it out down the field looking for his man. And it's hauled in. Benwell holds it in for the touchdown, flag on the play. So we'll see what this is on.
That's possibly coming back.
Holding against the Falcons.
Yep, hold on the Falcons right on cue. So that touchdown reception by Benwell will be erased.
As a great throw there from Benwell. Well, erased by 1 flag.
That's not what you want, and you've seen a very undisciplined team up to this point. So you got to figure, something's got to give eventually.
Absolutely. Thomas, do you remember the movie Any Given Sunday?
Oh, sure.
John Glenn's uniform is giving me a kind of a Any Given Sunday kind of vibe here as a big run there.
Yeah, big time reception from Wright, who hauled in the dump off a screenplay design screen. And that'll be enough for a Falcon 1st down, tackled down at about the 14-yard line. So looking to just put something on the board is Glenn, dwindling down here in this quarter.
Absolutely, as the clock goes down, clicking down almost to 5:30 here.
And not a ton of time to really do anything. Down 19 at 26-7. The give goes to Wright again. He's been busy this time, bottled up after the previous play went for big time yardage. That one not the same. And also, if you are Glenn, this offense for Knox, they really ran the football well. They keep it on the ground. They don't turn it over. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. as a flag flies in to see who gets called on this. But back to my point, it's just a team in Knox that will not give you, an opportunity to get back into the game on their own end. You almost have to try to create it with a defensive stop. Ball placed at about the 7-yard line. So deep into the red zone is this Falcon offense. A lot of time pressure comes right, looking right, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Benwell. But the throw just a bit wide.
Just out of the reach for the wide receiver there as we're going 3 and 4. Third down and 4 here as we go. $5:17 to go.
We're down at 4 ensuing. 2 receivers out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right. So 3 in the pattern to choose from. The give goes to right. They run it on third. He doesn't pick it up at all. Thrown back to the ground. And right on cue from the PA guy, a host of Redskins in on the stop. Keegan Everidge, Jake Conn.
That makes it right down.
In defensively. 4th down for Glenn. Do or die time. Gotta have it. Gotta at least move the sticks or maybe put one into the end zone.
I don't know what you do here.
They ran it on 3rd. Let's see if they do it on 4th. Looking left initially, now throwing right as the pass goes incomplete. Intended for Benwell. He's been targeted a lot on this drive, but not right there. And the turnover on downs will give the Redskins the football back. Once again, another big-time defensive stop for Knox. Give goes to Conroy, bouncing it left, still churning his legs forward. Well, he is just a tough player to bring down. Thrown out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
Kind of reminds you of his favorite player. You can tell with that 5. He's hurt right now for San Francisco, but with Christian McCaffrey, kind of the way he runs, the patience and all that.
A very big-time player to model your game after if you play that position, and so no fault in that. And listen, if you're the Redskins, you are poised to come out of here with a little over 4 minutes to go in the game, poised to come out of here with a victory. Up 26-7. Scored 14 points in that second quarter. 3 rushing touchdowns on the night for Miles McLaughlin. 1 touchdown for Conroy. He gets it again, and there's some space for him to rumble up to about the 21-yard line. And that'll be enough for a Knox first down. Another first down, and something that I mentioned, as a point of emphasis for the Falcons. Listen, this Knox offense will not let you get any freebies. You gotta force turnovers, and that's what's been smart about the Redskins is yes, you've had the big chunk plays, and yes, you've had the touchdowns, but they also haven't looked flustered or out of control on the offensive side, as Falcons will call timeout to talk things over defensively. So 26-7 the score. If you're just tuned in, Tom Hill, Josh Regan here on the call, Regan Corner Sports Network. Knox came in with a record of 2-2. Glenn with a record of 1-2. Both these teams in the Indiana Northern State Conference. Knox looking to go 2-0. If the score holds, Glenn will fall to 0-2 in conference record. Sweet Caroline breaks out here on what should be a sweet victory for the Redskins. This is a team that when they get defensive stops, they win games. Something I mentioned, all broadcast long. In their 2 wins, they've given up 9 combined points. In their 2 losses, they've given up 89 combined points. So it's been Jekyll and Hyde defensively so far to start the season for Knox, but so far tonight they've been stout. I'm looking to just salt this one away here.
Absolutely, as we thank both athletic directors for allowing us to do this game, Stevens and Minix.
3:46 mark. Now it's a keeper with McLaughlin. He loses the football for a second. I believe he hopped on it.
Recovered by the Redskins. That'll be enough for
And it is recovered
First down.
by the Redskins. So crisis averted
Exactly how they drew it up
for McLaughlin as the ball will be placed, looks like at right about the 38-yard line. Boy, that could have been kind of deadly. Even though you're up 19, you don't want to hand the football back to Glenn. They're going to spot it at the 35.
You don't hand the ball back to Glenn or get your star quarterback hurt for the upcoming conference games and the sectional.
The next 3 opponents for both of these teams are in-conference rivals, as Conroy with a carry for about 1. And that's what we're going to start to see, obviously, because here tonight, every single team in conference played, and it's going to be interesting to see, which teams start to pull away, and maybe you see them, get out on top in conference, and then which teams do you start to see, maybe falter down in the standings. And from John Glenn's perspective, they're in danger of falling to 1-3 overall and 0-2 in conference, and then it is just nothing but a slew of conference opponents after this.
Flag on the play.
Flag is on the play. I believe a delay of game is called on the Redskins. So that'll push them back. Mentioned Miles McLaughlin had 3 rushing touchdowns 2 weeks ago against Culver Academies. He had 2 rushing, 1 passing last week against Tippecanoe Valley, and then here tonight he has 3 rushing against John Glenn. So he has really been a weapon here for this Redskins team.
Fakes
Miles
it
McLaughlin
there.
on the carry for the Redskins.
McLaughlin, another carry, just to salt this one away. And he did fumble a couple plays ago, but able to recover it. That was really the only blip on the radar. It wasn't even really a blip offensively for the Redskins. And this is a Knox team that didn't score at all in that first quarter. They had 14 in quarter number 2, and then 6 in the third, 6 here in the fourth. Jake Conroy scored the most recent touchdown for Knox early in this fourth quarter. Low snap, but it's fielded back there by McLaughlin. Now he's just going to slide down at about the 28-yard line. So they do lose yardage, but again, not losing the football. That's the most important facet here.
Absolutely. And that's a very important skill to know. I mean, you have some NFL players that don't know how to slide. Or as we just saw there from Miles, broke it down.
Yeah, and that's where it's tough. We've even seen it where, that wasn't an instance there, but we see it a lot with running quarterbacks in the NFL or in college, where if they're not able to slide, it just leaves them at a much higher risk for injury. And sometimes you maybe have baseball guys come in to teach them how to slide properly.
And the Falcons take over, 1st and 10.
Falcons will take over at their own 40-yard line, looking to just get something going on their offensive end. Obviously, too little too late in the game, but looking to just maybe put something together here.
For momentum for next week against Bremen.
And Bremen, to my point, as I mentioned earlier on this broadcast, they are losers tonight, 36-7 against Jimtown. And Tippecanoe Valley with a 32-21 victory over LaVille. So Bremen, who Glenn plays next week, and LaVille, who Knox plays next week, both losers here tonight. So we'll see how that bodes as we get into shape in this Indiana Northern State Conference next Friday.
Penalty against the Falcons.
Penalty will be called on the Falcons. That's microcosmic of the night for them offensively. They've moved the football decently, but it's just been, kicking themselves in the foot. Their only score, the Braden Benwell 1-yard rushing touchdown, a little before halftime. It's just a modest pickup here as they keep it on the ground. It's going to be interesting to see what they do next week, because they're going to fall. Glenn will fall to 1-3. Knox will improve to 3-2. Knox will improve to 3-0 at home, 2-0 in conference. Glenn will fall to 1-1 on the road and 0-2 in conference. Now we give to Faulkner, Blake Faulkner, with his first carry of the night, tripped up at about the 45-yard line. That is your ball game. The final score, the Redskins 26, the Falcons 7. Knox improves to 3-2 overall. They improve to 3-0 at home, 2-0 in the Indiana Northern Conference, and they now have a 2-game winning streak going into next week's matchup against LaVille. The John Glenn Falcons fall to 1-3. They're 0-2 in conference. They play Bremen next week. They have now lost 3 games in a row after winning their season opener against Boone Grove. So just a big-time, complete performance from Knox here tonight. 3 rushing touchdowns from junior quarterback Miles McLaughlin. He had that big run right after halftime, and we also saw a touchdown on the board from Jake Conroy. The defense came out to play. They forced 3 turnovers, 2 picks, and a fumble recovery. There was also a big-time special teams play for Knox. So, Josh, overall, it is just a complete victory for the Redskins.
I've got the numbers. It's second, but it's RD. Shouldn't it be MD by second?
Oh, yeah.
I think third is third with T8. Yeah. But everything else is perfect.
So, who do you got for the Guardian player of the game on both sides?
Well, the Guardian player of the game on the Knox side goes without saying. It's Miles McLaughlin. Those 2 rushing touchdowns in that second quarter, and then obviously the big run, kind of the icing on the cake of his night back in that third quarter. And then on the Glenn side, I'll give it to Braden Benwell. We saw him a lot as a receiver in this game, and he had the rushing touchdown, really the only score on the night for Glenn. So he would be my player of the game for the Falcons. But obviously, you could really pick from about 5 names on the Knox side, but I would give the nod to McLaughlin.
Absolutely. So, who do you give the blue-collar player of the game to?
Blue-collar player of the game, I would probably give that one to just the entire defensive front for the Knox Redskins. I just think that they were stout. They played disciplined football. We saw the linebackers, crash in and not really let the running back of Blake Wright really get anything going for this Falcon team. And I think I would just give it really, you can honestly give it to the entire defense. I mean, Ashton Walker, namely, had the INT, the first INT of the night, or the first takeaway of the night, rather, for Knox on the defensive side. But, you could even give it to Conroy. He was big time. He had that touchdown, the final touchdown of the night for Knox. But I would give it to the entire defense for the Redskins.
Same. And who do you have the Crown Royals superhero of the game?
You're getting a little redundant here, but it would be McLaughlin. It would be McLaughlin again. And, you know, he's just 3 rushing touchdowns, and he has been really stout with his legs. He now has 8 rushing touchdowns in his last 3 games, 9 touchdowns overall. You know, he's a weapon. He's a force. He's a weapon. He is somebody that they rely on, and they don't throw the football a lot because of his legs. And, you know, we see him and Conroy really run the football a lot in that read option, and it's been so deadly so far offensively for Knox this season, and they just pick up another big-time win, conference win here at home.
Absolutely. So that will be it for our Tech Credit Union post-game show here on Region Sports Nation and Regan's Corner Sports Network, where the athlete comes first and the only game in town. Nonetheless, we will be back in Walkerton for next week. Bremen and John Glenn for our Game of the Week broadcast. Thank you to my play-by-play broadcaster, Tom Hill.
I don't think you would be just shirt.
And our producer and cameraman, Adam Gill.